Do you want me to?
La la la, la 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 la. Oh, hi guys. Just practicing my juggling. Hope you are too. We're going to start today with English lessons. Welcome in English lessons for this week. So, what are we going to be doing today? We're going to be carrying on with our theme of Kiwiana, but we're going to be looking for some of the exercises in our book. So make sure you have that ready to go for this lesson. And so let's take a look what we're going to do. We're going to be focusing today on the difference between could and should. You've probably heard those words before. When do you use could and when do you use should? Do you know right now? Let's take a look. Before we do that though, just make sure that you're updating your OneDrive so I can see that you're up to date and you're doing all the tasks. Today, the date, you'd add the date in there, and then the name of the lesson is chapter 42 and 43. The number of the lesson is 2.2. Straight after this lesson, I'll go to my OneDrive and check that we're all up to date with doing the lessons. Okay, so the difference between could and should. So if you look at chapter 42, we use should to give advice. Je geeft advies met should. And you can see there the Dutch translation is zou moeten. So the examples we have here, smoking kills. You should stop smoking. You could also say, smoking kills. You could stop smoking. But should really says you really must do it. It's a good idea to do it. It's raining. You should bring an umbrella. You can also say, it's raining, you could bring an umbrella. But really, who wants to get wet in the rain? Or, the coronavirus is dangerous, you shouldn't go to school. Actually, it's even more stronger than that. You mustn't go to school, but we'll deal with that in another lesson. So, what would you give to somebody who told you this? I have a headache. You should go to the doctor, maybe. There are sharks here, but I want to go swimming. Now here you can say something like, you shouldn't go swimming. So you can say it in a negative way. You should not. You push that together and you say, you shouldn't go swimming. I want to learn to play the guitar. You should get lessons maybe. And a football player says, my foot hurts. You should see a physiotherapist. Okay, so what you need to do then is grab your book and you can then go and do some of the exercises in 42. You can also wait until the end of the video and do that because we can go straight on to the next task. The chapter, by the way, if you look in Magister, there's a link to your worksheet for this lesson, and then you can find all the information in there that's on this slide as well. So you don't need to write this down now. You can just look in the worksheet. Okay, the next thing, chapter 43, is to make a suggestion. So we're going to look at could, which the Dutch translation is zou kunnen. So making suggestions. I hate apples. You could also eat a banana. Now you can't really say you should eat a banana here because somebody doesn't have to eat fruit. You can just tell them, I hate apples. Well, just be happy that you hate apples. But you're making a suggestion to say, you could also eat a banana. You're trying to be nice. I don't have any money. You could get a job. Well, you could also say, you should get a job. But it's not really for you to say whether that person needs more money or not. So do you see the difference? Using should is saying really strongly giving advice that you should really do something. You must, more or less must do it. But with using could, it's just a suggestion. You could, but you don't have to. Yeah? So it's kind of less strong. Okay, again, let's make some suggestions. What suggestions would you make if somebody told you this? I don't have any clothes to wear to the party. You could go and buy some. But you could also borrow some. my house is not big enough. How could you answer that? What about you could move house? I never know what time it is. You could buy a watch, or you could buy a wall clock. It's up to you. Okay, so you get the idea. Could is to suggest something. Should, you're actually given advice. So again, get your book, chapter 43, everything's in there. You can do the exercises, download the worksheet, and you can take a look at that. Okay, so we've got some final tasks for you. I'm going to ask you to do some research on New Zealand. So pretend we're taking a vacation to New Zealand, when you can, obviously. What should you do there? What sites should you see? What activities should you do? Now that kind of means if you went to New Zealand on holiday and you went back and somebody said to you, oh, did you go and see this and this? And you said no, they'd be like, what? If you're in New Zealand, you have to do that. It's like when you go to New York, you really should go up the Empire State Building because that's a really cool thing to do. So let's see if you can do that. And the last task is another task, and this you can find in your worksheets. You know now what a tourist should do in New Zealand. Now you're going to make suggestions for different types of people. And so what I'd like you to do is look at stuff you can do in New Zealand and then put in your Word document what they could do. So you could go wild water rafting, or you could go look at the dolphins. So it's stuff to suggest things. Now, if you are wondering where you can find this information, you're looking at the tasks in your book, there's also some exercises you can listen to. And so there is a link in the worksheet where you can go to the DK English for Everyone website. And if you click on these, you can hear the audio. Listen to this.
Tomorrow, James. There are no buses on Sundays.
Oh, I'm not sure.
You should walk. It's good exercise.
Those people sound really slightly too happy, right? Okay, so that's kind of the lesson today. Don't forget, we've got more of these videos. If you want to like and subscribe, go ahead and do that. And if you've got any questions, then I'm available right now on Skype. There should be a link in Magister. Just click on that. If you've got any questions, punch them in, and I'll answer those hopefully straight away. Hopefully everybody's okay there at home. Update your document, share it with me, make sure I can see your tasks, and I'll see you next lesson. Have a good one.